Love is a fragile flower, blooming bright but easily bruised. It opens its petals to the world, trusting in the warmth of another's touch, yet always vulnerable to the chill of neglect or misunderstanding. Its beauty can light up the darkest days, making ordinary moments feel like miracles. A simple glance, a shared laugh, or a gentle touch can transform the mundane into something extraordinary. When two souls find each other, the world seems to stop, painted in gentle colors and soft laughter. Time slows, and every heartbeat feels like a promise, echoing with hope and possibility. The promise of love is a whisper of forever, sweet and full of hope. It's a vow spoken not just in words, but in every shared glance and every silent moment together. Yet beneath its shining surface, love is delicate. It depends on trust, on honesty, and on the willingness to be vulnerable, to open our hearts even when we fear being hurt. It thrives on the simple magic of being true, of showing up for each other day after day, even when life is hard. Even the smallest crack can let in doubt, and a single moment of carelessness can cast a long shadow. Even the purest heart can be broken. Pain can seep in quietly, leaving us wondering if love was ever truly safe. Love asks us to be brave, to give ourselves fully, knowing we might be hurt. It is a leap of faith, a risk we take again and again. In those first moments though, love feels invincible. The world glows with possibility, and every worry fades into the background. It is a song that never ends, a melody that lingers in our hearts long after the music fades, a sunrise that never fades, filling each new day with hope and gentle light. We treasure it, believing nothing could ever take it away. We hold on to every memory, every shared secret, as if they are precious jewels. The world is kinder, lighter, and impossibly beautiful. Love colors everything with hope, making even the ordinary seem magical. But sometimes even the strongest love is not enough. Life's storms can shake even the deepest roots. A single betrayal can turn the sweetest dreams into ashes, and trust once broken is hard to rebuild. It leaves scars where hope once lived, reminding us that love, for all its splendor, is as fragile as it is beautiful. Jessica and Daniel met on a rainy afternoon in a small corner cafe. The air was filled with the gentle hum of conversation and the comforting aroma of freshly brewed coffee, while raindrops tapped softly against the windows. The world outside was gray and cold, but inside, something bright began to bloom. The cafe's warmth wrapped around them, making the moment feel almost magical, as if time itself had slowed down just for them. Their eyes met over steaming cups of coffee, and the rest seemed to fall perfectly into place. In that instant, a spark ignited, a connection neither of them could ignore. Time melted away as they talked about books, music, and the places they wanted to see. They discovered shared dreams and laughed at the same jokes, feeling as if they'd known each other forever. Soon, they were inseparable. Walks in the park, laughter on lazy Sunday mornings, promises made beneath the stars. Every moment together felt like a new adventure, filled with hope and possibility. Their happiness was simple, honest, and full of light. They found joy in the little things, shared smiles, spontaneous dances, and quiet moments of togetherness. With every shared secret and gentle touch, their love grew deeper. Trust blossomed between them, and their hearts opened wider with each passing day. Together, they dreamed of the future. They imagined all the places they would go, the memories they would create, and the life they would build side by side. A little house by the sea, a garden full of wildflowers, smiles that would never fade. Their dreams painted a picture of happiness, simple and true. They planned adventures, whispered hopes, and believed in forever. Every plan was a promise, every hope a thread weaving their lives closer together. Every moment was a page in the story they were writing together. Their memories became treasures, carefully kept and lovingly remembered. In those early days, love was easy. It flowed naturally, filling their lives with laughter, comfort, and a sense of belonging. Every glance felt like a promise, every smile a silent vow. Their connection was unspoken but deeply felt, a language only their hearts understood. The world belonged to them, and they belonged to each other. In each other's arms, they found home, and in their love, they found the beginning of everything. Trust is the foundation of every great love story. Without trust, love cannot truly flourish or stand the test of time. It is the invisible thread that weaves two hearts together, allowing them to grow closer with each passing day. For Jessica and Daniel, trust grew slowly, like a tree reaching for the sky. It didn't happen overnight, but with patience and care, their trust became stronger, its roots digging deeper with every shared experience. Each honest word, each gentle gesture, watered the roots of their bond. Every smile, every reassuring touch, was a promise that they would always be there for each other, no matter what life brought their way. They shared their fears and flaws, knowing the other would not turn away. Vulnerability became their strength, and in those moments of openness, their connection deepened. Jessica learned to lean on Daniel, to tell him her worries late at night. She found comfort in his listening ear, and he offered her the reassurance she needed to feel safe. Daniel found comfort in her laughter, her steady hand in uncertain times. Her presence was a reminder that he was never alone, even when life felt overwhelming. With every challenge they faced, they grew stronger together. Each obstacle became an opportunity to prove their loyalty and deepen their trust, forging a partnership that could weather any storm. Their trust was a quiet comfort, a shelter from the storms of life. In each other's arms, they found peace, knowing they could always rely on one another. They learned each other's rhythms, the way Daniel needed quiet after a long day, the way Jessica loved to dance in the kitchen. These small acts of understanding made their daily lives feel harmonious and full of love. These small details became their secret language, a code that only they could understand. Understanding bred trust. Trust brought peace. Their inside jokes and shared smiles were reminders of the world they had built together. They believed nothing could shake this trust. It was the anchor that kept them steady, even when the world outside felt uncertain. It felt as if their hearts spoke in harmony, beating with the same hope for the future. Their dreams and aspirations became intertwined, giving them strength to move forward together. Their love was a safe place, a home built on faith in each other. In this space, trust continued to grow, promising a future filled with warmth, understanding, and unwavering support. There were days that felt like dreams. Jessica and Daniel laughed until their sides ached, caught up in the simple joy of being together. They picnicked by the river, skipped stones, and watched clouds drift by. Every moment was painted in gold, every memory a little treasure. On special nights, they cooked dinner together, music filling the air, their hands brushing as they worked. Each meal was a celebration, not of food, but of togetherness. When they danced in the living room, the world outside disappeared, leaving only the warmth of their love. Friends envied their closeness. Family members admired the easy way they fit together. Jessica and Daniel cherished these days, believing their happiness would last forever. Their story seemed unbreakable, written in laughter and sealed with gentle kisses. But life is full of unexpected turns. Even in the brightest chapters, shadows can begin to form. Sometimes, happiness can make us blind to the dangers just around the corner. One evening, Jessica found a message on Daniel's phone that changed everything. It was innocent at first, a message from an old friend, but as she read more, her heart began to pound. Words of affection, promises made in secret, and a truth she never expected to find. The air in the room turned cold. Doubt crept in, twisting her memories, making her question everything. Had it all been a lie? Had she missed the warning signs? Her hands shook as she confronted Daniel, her voice raw and trembling. Daniel's eyes filled with regret, but the damage was done. His apology fell between them like shattered glass, sharp and impossible to ignore. The trust they had built together was suddenly paper-thin, torn by the weight of betrayal. Jessica's world went silent. The dreams they had shared, the promises they had made, all felt meaningless now. In a single moment, everything changed. The days that followed were filled with pain. Jessica replayed their memories, searching for clues she had missed. Every smile, every laugh, felt tainted by lies. She wondered if she would ever feel whole again, or if the ache would last forever. Confusion became her constant companion. She wanted to believe Daniel's words, to trust that their love was stronger than this. But the betrayal echoed in her mind, louder than any apology. Nothing made sense anymore. Heartbreak is a silent storm. Jessica felt it in her bones, a heaviness she could not shake. She cried until she was empty, until even her tears felt like a betrayal. The future she had dreamed of was gone, replaced by a pain she could not escape. Daniel tried to reach her, to explain, but trust once broken is not easily repaired. Jessica was left with only memories, sharp as glass and impossible to hold. Love is like a book, each memory a precious page. Jessica once believed their story would be endless, a novel filled with laughter and joy. She cherished every chapter, every line written with hope and affection. But betrayal is a cruel hand. It rips the pages without warning, leaving holes where meaning once lived. Jessica looked back on their story, and all she could see were the places that had been torn apart. The book of their love was no longer whole. Some pages could never be recovered. The first time that Wang Xia Da Biber Einer für Sie, Ein Seinek La Refineber 5 of you, the promise of forever. These memories were now stained by doubt. Jessica tried to piece the story back together, but the torn pages would not fit. She realized that love, once broken, can never be the same. The story continues, but it is forever changed. Time moved on, but the scars remained. Jessica learned to hide her pain behind a quiet smile, but inside, she was changed. Every new friendship, every chance at love, was haunted by the memory of betrayal. She found herself doubting, questioning the intentions of others. Trust, once so easy to give, now felt impossible. The wounds left by Daniel's betrayal were deep, and healing was slow. Some days, it felt like she would never be whole again. But Jessica also learned strength. She discovered that even broken hearts can keep beating. She found comfort in small things, a sunrise, a kind word, the laughter of friends. Life was not what she had planned, but it still held moments of beauty. Scars do not mean the end of love. They are reminders of where we have been, and sometimes, of who we have become. Jessica's story did not end with heartbreak. In time, she found meaning in the pain. She learned to trust herself, to listen to her own heart. The scars from betrayal became lessons, hard-earned, but important. She realized that love is both beautiful and fragile. It asks us to be brave, to take risks, knowing we might get hurt. The memory of betrayal never fully faded, but it no longer ruled her life. It became part of her story, a chapter she had survived. Jessica carried these lessons with her, moving forward with a wiser, gentler heart. She learned to forgive, not for Daniel's sake, but for her own peace. The book of her life was not over. There were new chapters to write, full of hope and possibility. Some scars remain forever, but they do not have to define us. Through heartbreak, we find strength. Through pain, we learn to love again.